that feeling you get when you walk into an event with incredible music and sound quality? Yeah, that's us. Welcome to Ghana's leading musical instrument store, Sweet Music. Choose from a wide range of keyboards, drum sets, guitars, combos, stage monitors.
Hello and welcome to the 2026 Interchurch Bible Quiz, University of Health and Allied Sciences, brought to you by the NBKO Ghana in partnership with the Bible Society of Ghana and the UHAS chaplaincy. This program is aimed at helping us know the scriptures in the Bible in a fun-filled way. In 2 Timothy, the chapter 3, verse 15, the Apostle Paul said of Timothy, and that from childhood you have known the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make you wise for salvation through faith which is in Christ Jesus. We expect that as you watch this program, you will know the Holy Scriptures, which is also the foundation of receiving revelation knowledge from the Lord. Today, we bring to you the second contest of this championship, which will determine our second qualified team from UHAS for the 2026 National Championship and the second finalist for the UHAS Championship. To our audience, who do you think is winning this contest? All right, there's only one way to find out. Let's wait till the end and see who is winning. We don't know yet, but I can promise you a very keen contest full of excitement, knowledge, and great fun. If you are watching us live, please share the link to all your handles and your friends. Let's gather for an intriguing journey into the scriptures. We want to acknowledge our sponsors for this championship: Sweet Music Pro Audio, Ghana's leading musical instrument store, and our media partner, Sweet Melodies FM. Our second contest features National Union of Presbyterian Students Ghana, NUPS-G, the Evangelical Presbyterian Students Union, EPSU, the Apostolic Church Students and Associates, APOSA, and Ghana Methodist Students Union. We want to meet our contestants. NUPS-G, please do us the honors.
My name is Louisa Mankwa.
I am Ozu Joshua.
You're welcome, Lisa. You're welcome, Joshua. Please tell us your preparations. How have your preparation prior to this been, and what are your expectations for the contest?
It hasn't been easy, but we are hoping to do our best.
All right. GHAMSU, our contestants are.
I am Kwekwe Dweji Mensa.
I'm Karen Mingo.
You're welcome, Kweku. You're welcome, Karen. Please tell us your expectations for the contest.
Okay, so we expect a very good contest, hoping that everything goes well. Thank you. We expect a good contest and hoping that everything goes well.
All right. EPSU, our contestants are.
I'm Tete Pearl Akosia Aram.
I'm at a finished.
You're welcome, Pearl. You're welcome, Ernest. Please tell us your expectations for the contest.
So, like every other team here, we hope for the best. Thank you.
All right. APOSA, our contestants are.
Nicholas Guedu.
Angel Siku.
Welcome, Nicholas. Welcome, Angel.
Thank you.
Please tell us, prior to today, what have your preparations been and what are your expectations for the contest?
Yes, it hasn't been easy combining studies with learning facts about the Bible, but then God has been good to us. Our expectation is that we will do the best that we can, and then we are expecting to sail through to the next stage. Thank you.
All right, we've heard from our contestants. Let's see who wins this contest. My name is Precious Jifakra, and I am your quiz mistress. Now to the contestants. This contest will come to you in 4 rounds. Round 1, here are the rules. Most questions in this round require simple, straightforward answers. Some questions may require some explanations or more detailed answers. You have 10 seconds to answer your major question, and your answer must be 1 attempt only, meaning that you cannot start one answer and change it to start a different answer. If a team fails to answer their main question, I may pass the question on for a bonus to the remaining teams. The first team to ring their bell will have the opportunity to answer. Let's hear the bells of each team. Beautiful. Please note, a correct answer to a main question is worth 3 points. A correct answer to a bonus question is worth 1 point. A wrong answer to a bonus question will cost you a deduction of 1 point. Let all your answers be precise and accurate. Best wishes to you all. Our first set of questions. Preamble to all teams, listen carefully. In Numbers chapter 13, verses 4 through to 15, 12 men were appointed from the 12 tribes of Israel and sent out as spies from Kadesh Barnea to Canaan. NUPS-G. Mention any 3 of them and indicate their respective tribes.
We have Joshua from the tribe of Ephraim. We have Caleb from the tribe of Judah.
You have 2 marks. GHAMSU, mention any other 3 of them and indicate their respective tribes. EPSU, mention any other 3 of them and indicate their respective tribes. APOSA, mention any other three of them and indicate their respective tribes. All right, let's look at the answers. Out of 12, NUPS-G mentioned 2. That is the tribe of Judah, Caleb, and Ephraim. We have Joshua. The rest, we have Shammua from Reuben, Shaphat from Simeon, Igal from Issachar, Gadiel from Zebulun, Gamaliel from Manasseh, Palti from Benjamin, Amel from Dan, Sethur from Asher, Gael from Gad, and Nabai from Naphtali. The next set of questions. Preamble to all teams, listen carefully. I will mention a pair or group of people from the Bible. Your task is to identify the place where both are connected, whether through a shared event or separate events or encounters. NUPS-G. Your pair is David and Jesus Christ.
So we have Bethlehem, where David was born, and Bethlehem, where Jesus was also born.
That's correct. GHAMSU, we have Naaman and Saul, or Paul.
Damascus. And Saul traveled to Damascus, and Naaman lived in Damascus.
I give you 2. EPSU. Your pair is Abraham and Jacob.
So with Abraham and Jacob, they were both at Israel. And Abraham is the grandfather of Jacob.
That's incorrect. For a bonus. All right, APOSA. Your group is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Okay, so the place where they are connected is in Egypt.
That's incorrect. For a bonus. GHAMSU. Damascus is indeed the common place. Naaman was the Syrian commander, and Saul, that was where his conversion happened. EPSU, for Abraham and Jacob, we have Bethel. Abraham built an altar to the Lord there, and David encountered the Lord there. APOSA, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the place is Beersheba. Abraham made a covenant with Abimelech there. Isaac encountered God, and Jacob offered sacrifices there before going to Egypt. The next set of questions. Preamble. A popular faith story is recorded in 2 Kings chapter 7. NUPS-G. Explain one way in which faith was demonstrated in that story.
Okay, so this is the story of the lepers, where there was famine in the city. So they decided to go into the camp of their enemies and seek to and check whether they'll be able to find food, and that if they perish, they perish. But then indeed, if they find food, then they would survive. So that was an example of faith that was demonstrated by these lepers.
I'll give you one. GHAMSU, mention another way in which their faith was demonstrated in the story.
Okay, so one way that their faith was shown is that when they went into the camp of their enemies and they saw food, they believed and then ate some of the food and went back to tell the people of Israel that the camp of their enemies had been left empty and that there were food, because at that time there was famine in the land. And then the people in Israel believed, and then they went, and then they had faith, and then they went and ate. But then some people, one of the leaders of Israel.
GHAMSU, that's correct. EPSU, mention another way.
So, when the people were there, they exercised faith by their actions, in the sense that even though they were not seeing immediate effects of whatever thing they were doing, they were admonished to keep on doing whatever thing they were doing, praising God, expecting a return afterwards.
I'll give you two. APOSA, mention another way.
Okay, so one of the leaders of Israel did not have faith that what the lepers were saying was true, and therefore they could not also get access to the food that was left in the camp of the enemies.
That's incorrect. Let's hear our answers. The question says, explain one way in which the faith was demonstrated in the story. So one, their decision to act. That is, go to Syria in hope of living, because they would die anyway if they had stayed at the entrance of the gate while there was famine. Two, we have the physical steps they took. They were steps of faith. God honored their faith by causing their steps to sound like chariots and horses, causing them to flee their country. The third one, the decision to eat and drink what they found. It signifies their belief that God had actually provided for them, and they were enjoying the blessings when it manifests their faith. And lastly, you could also say, that is actually what GHAMSU mentioned, that they told the household, where they were coming from, they told the king's household and the city about what God has done, and it is a sharing of their faith to bless others. The next set of questions. NUPS-G. Mention the full scope of targets that were affected by the plague of the hail, as stated in Exodus chapter 9, verse 25.
All right, so the hail attacked the livestock that were in the field. The hail also attacked the barley that were because it was their season. The hail also it attacked every crop in the field also. And it also attacked every grain crop except the wheat because it was a late crop.
I'll give you 2. GHAMSU. Which specific locations in Egypt were mentioned in connection with the spread of the plague of the lice?
The king's palace, and then it was a point where God made a division between the Egyptians and the Israelites by not allowing the lice to attack the people of Goshen, that's the Israelites, and then it attacked the rest of Egypt and the household of Pharaoh.
You have 2. EPSU. Mention 2 inconveniences that the plague of the locusts brought upon the Egyptians.
So with the locust, it destroyed, first of all, their crops, and then 2, it with the locust around them, it makes their movements kind of difficult, thereby crippling their activities of trading.
I'll give you 1. APOSA. Mention another 2 inconveniences that the plague of the locusts brought upon the Egyptians.
Okay, so it destroyed the crops that were not destroyed by the hailstorms. So their crops were destroyed, 1. And then the second one was that when they died, their bodies, the scent that they gave out also made the whole Egyptian environment smell bad, basically.
That's correct. So NUPS-G, for your question concerning the hill. So first, the full scope, we have throughout the whole land of Egypt, and in the field of both man and beast, and every herb and every tree of the field. GHAMSU, the specific locations, have the house of Pharaoh's servants, and all the land of Egypt. You omitted the houses of Pharaoh's servants. EPSU and APOSA, please listen to the answers. Could have said the locust attack was the most severe ever that Egypt experienced before and after it. It covered the face of the whole ground so that the land was darkened and nobody could see the earth. They ate every herb of the land and all the fruit of the trees which were spared in the plague of the hail. They ate every tree which grew up out of the field so that there remained nothing green on the plants or trees throughout all the land of Egypt. The locusts filled Pharaoh's houses and the houses of his servants and the houses of all the Egyptians in a way that was never seen before. The next set of questions. NUPS-G. Mention the 2 events which happened immediately after Naomi blessed her daughters-in-law as recorded in Ruth chapter 1, verse 9 and 10.
Okay, so after she blessed her daughters-in-law, the first one returned back to the land of Moab, but Ruth clung to her and she tried to let her go, but Ruth said her God will be her God, her people will be her people, so she's not going to leave her. And so, because of that, Naomi left the land of Israel with Ruth. And Ophrah departed to her people.
That's incorrect. For a bonus. GHAMSU, mention any 2 reasons Naomi gave her daughters-in-law when she told them to turn back and go to their families.
Okay, so firstly, there was famine in the land, and then she told them to leave and then go back to their lands or their hometowns where there were better living conditions. And then it was also because the 2 daughters-in-laws had now been widows because their husbands have died. So she was trying to get them to go out and leave them, and then because she didn't have any sons after, and then she was trying to let them go and then get married to other people and live better lives.
That's incorrect. EPSU. Bonus. Go ahead.
She said she has lost everything. So if in case they follow her, she will not be able to fend for them. And the second one is that even if she gives birth now, there's no way the child is able to grow such that you become their husbands now.
It's a bonus, so you don't get it. EPSU, your main question. Recall in detail the one of the instances in which Naomi and her daughters-in-law all lifted up their voices and wept.
An instance where they wept was when it happened that all his children died, therefore leaving her daughter-in-laws widows.
That's incorrect. APOSA, recall another one of the instances in which Naomi and her daughters-in-law all lifted up their voices and wept.
Okay, so they wept after Naomi had spoken to them as she was about to depart. So after blessing them, they wept.
I'll give you one. APOSA, I'll give you 2. All right, so let's go through our answers. NUPS-G. All that you mentioned indeed happened after, but we're looking for the one that happened immediately after Naomi blessed her daughters-in-law. This is what happened. Naomi kissed them, and they lifted up their voices and wept. And also the daughters said to her, "Surely we will return with you to your people." And GHAMSU, 2 reasons Naomi gave to her daughters-in-law to go back to their families. First, she said, "Are there still sons in my womb that they may be your husbands?" Secondly, "I am too old to have a husband." 3, "If I should have a husband tonight and have sons, would you wait for them till they grow? Would you restrain yourselves from having husbands?" And EPSU, the instances. First, after Naomi told them the first time to return to their families, blessing them with kindness from the Lord and rest in the homes of their new husbands, she kissed them and they lifted up their voices and wept. And the second instance is when she told them the second time to return because she was too old to have children, and they would not wait for the child to grow. They lifted up their voices and wept again. The next set of questions. Preamble, listen carefully. After John received the letters to the 7 churches, he saw a vision in Revelation chapter 4, verse 1. NUPS-G, what was the first thing he saw in that vision?
Okay, so he saw a throne that was set up in heaven, and he also saw one that sat on the throne. His feet like fine brass and was shining as the sun.
That's incorrect. For a bonus. GHAMSU. What description was given to the first voice he heard in that vision?
It was a thunderous and loud voice.
Incorrect. NUPS-G for a bonus.
It was as a sound of many waters and trumpet.
That's correct. EPSU. EPSU, recall the full message he heard in this vision.
So he saw beasts with 7 horns. He saw a pregnant woman. And
that's incorrect. For a bonus. APOSA, recall exactly what happened immediate after he heard the voice.
Okay, so after he heard the voice, he saw himself lifted up. He said he went into the spirit, and there he saw the throne of God with the seraphims and the cherubims and the 24 elders bowing down to God.
That's correct. NUPS-G. The first thing he saw in that vision was a door standing open in heaven. EPSU. I'm not even sure you heard your question. I said, recall the full message he heard, and you were talking about things he saw. So the answer is come up here, and I will show you things which must take place after this. The next set of questions. Preamble, listen carefully. The story of a woman pouring fragrant oil on Jesus' feet is recorded in Luke and John. NUPS-G. Mention one major difference between the two accounts of the story.
Okay, so one account, the woman poured the oil on his feet, and then wiped his feet with her hair and her tears. And then in another account, he poured it on his head. Yeah.
That's incorrect. GHAMSU. Mention another difference.
So, in one account, it was suggested by one who was present that why was she wasting the oil which could be sold and then the money given to charity. But in another account, that conversation was not mentioned.
That's incorrect. EPSU. Mention another difference.
in the account of John, it was stated in the third person, but in the Luke account, it wasn't in the third person.
Incorrect. APOSA. Mention another difference.
Okay, in one account, the woman was named as Mary Magdalene, but in the other, she was given a title as just a harlot.
Incorrect. First of all, what do you people mean by in one account, in the other account? which one is one account? Please listen to the answers. In Luke's account, she washed his feet with her tears first, but in John's account, there was no mention of tears. In Luke's account, she wiped the tears with her hair before pouring the fragrant oil, but in John's account, there was no mention of wiping tears with her hair. In Luke's account, she kissed his feet. In John's account, there was no mention of kisses. In John's account, she wiped his feet with her hair after pouring the fragrant oil. In Luke's account, there was no mention of wiping of feet after oil was poured. The next set of questions. Preamble, listen carefully. When Ezra heard of the pollution of the priests and Levites with the Canaanite women in Ezra chapter 9, he did a number of things and eventually prayed. Mention any two of the things he did. NUPS-G.
In one account, the people. So one of what he did was that he removed those that were defiled with the people. And then the other account, the other instance, what he did, those people were not numbered amongst the names or the names that were recorded, and they had no share of the things afterwards.
That's incorrect. GHAMSU, mention any of the two things he did.
So he fasted for a day, and then he tore the hair off his hair and his beard.
That's correct. EPSU, mention another two.
Ezra separated them or isolated them. Then she offered an offering of appeasement on their behalf.
That's incorrect. APOSA, mention another two.
So she put on a sackcloth and then she wept and cried.
That's incorrect. For a bonus. All right. So he tore his garments. He plucked out his hair and he fasted, like GHAMSU said. He sat down astonished. He arose from his fasting. He fell upon his knees and he spread his hands out to God. The next set of questions. Preamble, listen carefully. The following passage is an extract from Acts chapter 7, verses 2 through to 7. Fill in the blank spaces to complete the passage. NUPS-G. And he said, dash, the God of glory appeared to our father Abraham when dash, before dash.
And he said, men of Israel. That's the first dash. Then the second one, he also said, the God of Abraham, the glory of the Lord appeared to Abraham first in before he settled in Haran.
You have one. GHAMSU, and said to him, dash, and dash, and dash.
I will make you the father of many nations. That's one dash, one of them. And then another dash. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. And another dash. I will bless your descendants and there will be as many as the sand at the sea.
All incorrect. EPSU. EPSU. Then he came out of dash, and from there, when his father was dead, he moved him to dash.
And he came out from suffering and tribulations, and the father moved him to a land of ease.
Incorrect. APOSA. APOSA. And God dash. Not even dash, but dash, he promised to give it to him for a possession and to his descendants after him.
And he called the name of the Lord. The second dash, this land called Canaan. Thank you.
You're welcome. Incorrect. Let's go through the scriptures. Acts chapter 7, verses 2 to 7. NUPS-G. And he said, "Brethren and fathers, listen. The God of glory appeared to our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia, before he dwelt in Haran." You got before he dwelt in Haran correct. GHAMSU. And said to him, "Get out of your country and from your relatives and come to a land that I will show you." EPSU. Then he came out of the land of the Chaldeans and dwelt in Haran, and from there, this land in which you now dwell. And from there, when his father was dead, he moved him to the land in which you now dwell. APOSA. And God gave him no inheritance in it, not even enough to set his foot on. But even when Abraham had no child, he promised to give it to him for a possession and to his descendants after him. The next set of questions. Preamble, listen very carefully. The Psalms are often poetic reflections, prayers, or songs, many of which correspond to specific historical events or stories in the Old Testament. I am going to mention a chapter in the book of Psalms, and you are to give me the location of the event or story it is associated with. Book and chapter only. Verses are not required. NUPS-G, Psalm 106.
First Samuel chapter 19.
Incorrect. GHAMSU, Psalm 106.
Second Samuel chapter 10.
Incorrect. EPSU, Psalm 118.
First Samuel chapter 20.
Incorrect. For a bonus. APOSA, Psalm 137.
Second Samuel chapter 15.
Incorrect. For NUPS-G and GHAMSU. For NUPS-G and GHAMSU, Psalm 106, we have Exodus chapter 32 and Numbers 16. EPSU, Psalm 118, we have 2 Samuel 22. And for APOSA, Psalm 137, we have 2 Kings chapter 24. The last set of questions for this round. I need you to quote 6 scriptures on one of these themes. Prayer, fasting, fellowship, teaching. NUPS-G, which one do you pick?
Fellowship.
NUPS-G, in the space of 40 seconds, quote in full 6 verses with fellowship.
2 Corinthians 13:13. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25. Do not forsake the assembling of yourselves, of the gathering of the fellowship of yourselves, wherein some do and are forsaking the faith. Okay, First John chapter, I was mentioning it. First John chapter 1, verse 3. All that, for what we have seen and heard and declared to you, that you may have fellowship with us, and truly our fellowship is with the Father and with His Son Jesus Christ.
Incorrect. GHAMSU, what theme do you want to quote? Prayer, fasting, fellowship, teaching.
Prayer.
GHAMSU, in the space of 40 seconds, quote in full 6 verses about or on prayer.
Philippians chapter 3, verse 14. Pray without ceasing. James chapter 1 verse 9. If any of you need anything from the Father, they should go to him in prayer.
Incorrect, GHAMSU. EPSU, what theme do you prefer to quote on?
So we are picking fasting.
In the space of 40 seconds, quote in full EPSU 6 verses with fasting.
So Esther chapter 3, verse 7. Esther declared a fast for all to join her in fasting against what is plotted against the Jews. Isaiah 58 verse 1. For this is not the fast that I command. Isaiah 58 verse.
You've been bailed out, EPSU. APOSA, in the space of 40 seconds, what theme do you prefer to quote on?
Prayer.
All right. In the space of 40 seconds, quote in full 6 verses with prayer.
1 Thessalonians 5 verse 18. Pray without ceasing. Matthew 6 verse 13. When you pray, pray like this.
That's incorrect. This brings us to the end of round 1.
That feeling you get when you walk into an event with incredible music and sound quality. Yeah, that's us. Welcome to Ghana's leading musical instrument store, Sweet Music. Choose from a wide range of keyboards, drum sets, guitars, combos, stage monitors, mixers, amplifiers, speakers, microphones, saxophones, trumpets, studio equipment, and every accessory thinkable. We're located in Achimota, Sonodim Ship House, adjacent APSA Bank. Tema Community 9 next to Star Gas near T Havana. Kumasi opposite the STC station or Ashanti Home Touch, Asafo Market. Takrade ground floor of Ravito Clinic, Dabiama. Sunyani opposite Kokobod, Cementia Story Building. Tamale at the King David Plaza. You can also shop online at sweet-music.com or call 020-536-0313 or 054-734-6146. From top brands to beginner-friendly options, we've got something for everyone. Sweet Music. Hear the sound.
In the beginning was the Word, and do you have the Word? Ladies and gentlemen, in your Bible kweba, Bible no le, one side there or your gagamo, other side there or your bluff, walk on your bluff and which on a call Lucia, Kote Gamake. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something I highly recommend. Please come to the Bible Society's bookshop, and I guarantee you, you're not only going to get the best Bible, but you can also get a Bible that you will understand. Understanding is important. My name is Reverend Azigiza, and I look forward to seeing you. Anyway, this is my Robert Man, and praise the Lord.
Our mission is to make God's word available, affordable, and encourage its use to transform.
That time of the day when you're just settling in. You know, mid-morning, brunch time. You know your day is going to be just amazing once you're tuned in to your number one Christian radio, Sweet Melodies 94.3 FM. It's toe-tapping Sweet Melodies. Just the right groove and great vibes for your morning. Tune in from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. every weekday on Sweet Melodies FM 94.3. Make a date. Toe-tapping Sweet Melodies. Music so sweet, you can't help but tap your feet.
That feeling you get when you walk into an event with incredible music and sound quality. Yeah, that's us. Welcome to Ghana's leading musical instrument store, Sweet Music. Choose from a wide range of keyboards, drum sets, guitars, combos, stage monitors, mixers, amplifiers, speakers, microphones, saxophones, trumpets, studio equipment, and every accessory thinkable. We're located in Achimota, Sonodim Ship House, adjacent APSA Bank. Tema Community 9 next to Star Gas near T Havana. Kumasi opposite the STC station or Ashanti Home Touch, Asafo Market. Takrade ground floor of Ravito Clinic, Dabiama. Sunyani opposite Kokobod, Cementia Story Building. Tamale at the King David Plaza. You can also shop online at sweet-music.com or call 020-536-0313 or 054-734-6146. From top brands to beginner-friendly options, we've got something for everyone. Sweet Music. Hear the sound.
In the beginning was the Word, and do you have the Word? Ladies and gentlemen, in your Bible Kreba, Bible Nole, one side there, or your Gavium, other side there, or your bluff, walk on your bluff, and which on I call Lucia, Kote Gamake. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something I highly recommend. Please come to the Bible Society's bookshop, and I guarantee you, you're not only going to get the best Bible, but you can also get a Bible that you will understand. Understanding is important. My name is Reverend Azigiza, and I look forward to seeing you. Anyway, this is my Robert Man, and praise the Lord.
Our mission is to make God's word available, affordable, and encourage its use to transform.
That time of the day when you're just settling in. You know, mid-morning, brunch time. You know your day is going to be just amazing once you're tuned in to your number one Christian radio, Sweet Melodies 94.3 FM. It's toe-tapping sweet melodies. Just the right groove and great vibes for your morning. Tune in from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. every weekday on Sweet Melodies FM 94.3. Make a date. Toe-tapping sweet melodies. Music so sweet, you can't help but tap your feet.
That feeling you get when you walk into an event with incredible music and sound quality. Yeah, that's us. Welcome to Ghana's leading musical instrument store, Sweet Music. Choose from a wide range of keyboards, drum sets, guitars, combos, stage monitors, mixers, amplifiers, speakers, microphones, saxophones, trumpets, studio equipment, and every accessory thinkable. We're located in Ashimota, Sonodim Ship House, adjacent APOSA Bank. Tema Community 9 next to Star Gas near T Havana. Kumasi, opposite the STC station or Ashanti Home Touch, Asafo Market. Takrady, ground floor of Rabito Clinic, Dabiama. Sunyani, opposite Kokobod, Cementia Story Building. Tamale at the King David Plaza. You can also shop online at sweet-music.com or call 020-536-0313 or 054-734-6146. From top brands to beginner-friendly options, we've got something for everyone. Sweet Music. Hear the sound.
In the beginning was the Word, and do you have the Word? Ladies and gentlemen, in your Bible Kreba, Bible Nole, one side there, or your Gavium, other side there, or your bluff, walk on your bluff, and which on I call Lucia, Kote Gamake. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something I highly recommend. Please come to the Bible Society's bookshop, and I guarantee you, you're not only going to get the best Bible, but you can also get a Bible that you will understand. Understanding is important. My name is Reverend Azigiza, and I look forward to seeing you. Anyway, this is my Robert Man, and praise the Lord.
Our mission is to make God's word available, affordable, and encourage its use to transform.
That time of the day when you're just settling in. You know, mid-morning, brunch time. You know your day is going to be just amazing once you're tuned in to your number one Christian radio, Sweet Melodies 94.3 FM. It's toe-tapping sweet melodies. Just the right groove and great vibes for your morning. Tune in from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. every weekday on Sweet Melodies FM 94.3. Make a date. Toe-tapping sweet melodies. Music so sweet, you can't help but tap your feet.
That feeling you get when you walk into an event with incredible music and sound quality. Yeah, that's us. Welcome to Ghana's leading musical instrument store, Sweet Music. Choose from a wide range of keyboards, drum sets, guitars, combos, stage monitors, mixers, amplifiers, speakers, microphones, saxophones, trumpets, studio equipment, and every accessory thinkable. We're located in Achimota, Sonodim Ship House, adjacent APSA Bank. Tema Community 9 next to Star Gas near T Havana. Kumasi, opposite the STC station or Ashanti Home Touch, Asafo Market. Takrade, ground floor of Rabito Clinic, Dabiama. Sunyani, opposite Kokobod, Cementia Story Building. Tamale at the King David Plaza. You can also shop online at sweet-music.com or call 020-536-0313 or 054-734-6146. From top brands to beginner-friendly options, we've got something for everyone. Sweet Music. Hear the sound.
In the beginning was the Word, and do you have the Word? Ladies and gentlemen, in your Bible Kweba, Bible Nole, one side there, or your Gagamo, other side there, or your bluff, walk on your bluff, and which on I call Lucia, Kote Gamache. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something I highly recommend. Please come to the Bible Society's bookshop, and I guarantee you, you're not only going to get the best Bible, but you can also get a Bible that you will understand. Understanding is important. My name is Reverend Azigiza, and I look forward to seeing you. Anyway, this is my Robert Man, and praise the Lord.
Our mission is to make God's word available, affordable, and encourage its use to transform.
That time of the day when you're just settling in. You know, mid-morning, brunch time. You know your day is going to be just amazing once you're tuned in to your number one Christian radio, Sweet Melodies 94.3 FM. It's toe-tapping Sweet Melodies. Just the right groove and great vibes for your morning. Tune in from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. every weekday on Sweet Melodies FM 94.3. Make a date. Toe-tapping Sweet Melodies. Music so sweet, you can't help but tap your feet.
That feeling you get when you walk into an event with incredible music and sound quality. Yeah, that's us. Welcome to Ghana's leading musical instrument store, Sweet Music. Choose from a wide range of keyboards, drum sets, guitars, combos, stage monitors, mixers, amplifiers, speakers, microphones, saxophones, trumpets, studio equipment, and every accessory thinkable. We're located in Achimota, Sonodim Ship House, adjacent APSA Bank. Tema Community 9 next to Star Gas near T Havana. Kumasi, opposite the STC station or Ashanti Home Touch, Asafo Market. Takrade, ground floor of Rabito Clinic, Dabiama. Sunyani, opposite Kokobod, Cementia Story Building. Tamale at the King David Plaza. You can also shop online at sweet-music.com or call 020-536-0313 or 054-734-6146. From top brands to beginner-friendly options, we've got something for everyone. Sweet Music. Hear the sound.
In the beginning was the Word, and do you have the Word? Ladies and gentlemen, in your Bible Kweba, Bible Nole, one side there, or your Gagamo, other side there, or your bluff, walk on your bluff, and which on I call Lucia, Kote Gamache. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something I highly recommend. Please come to the Bible Society's bookshop, and I guarantee you, you're not only going to get the best Bible, but you can also get a Bible that you will understand. Understanding is important. My name is Reverend Azigiza, and I look forward to seeing you. Anyway, this is my Robert Man, and praise the Lord.
Our mission is to make God's word available, affordable, and encourage its use to transform.
That time of the day when you're just settling in. You know, mid-morning, brunch time. You know your day is going to be just amazing once you're tuned in to your number one Christian radio, Sweet Melodies 94.3 FM. It's toe-tapping Sweet Melodies. Just the right groove and great vibes for your morning. Tune in from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. every weekday on Sweet Melodies FM 94.3. Make a date. Toe tapping Sweet Melodies. Music so sweet, you can't help but tap your feet.
That feeling you get when you walk into an event with incredible music and sound quality. Yeah, that's us. Welcome to Ghana's leading musical instrument store, Sweet Music. Choose from a wide range of keyboards, drum sets, guitars, combos, stage monitors, mixers, amplifiers, speakers, microphones, saxophones, trumpets, studio equipment, and every accessory thinkable. We're located in Ashimota, Sonodim Ship House, adjacent APSA Bank. Tema Community 9 next to Star Gas near T Havana. Kumasi opposite the STC station or Ashanti Home Touch, Asafo Market. Takrady ground floor of Ravito Clinic, Dabiama. Sunyani opposite Kokobod, Cementia Story Building. Tamale at the King David Plaza. You can also shop online at sweet-music.com or call 020-536-0313 or 054-734-6146. From top brands to beginner-friendly options, we've got something for everyone. Sweet Music. Hear the sound.
In the beginning was the word, and do you have the word? Ladies and gentlemen, in your Bible kweba, Bible no le, one side there or your gagimo, other side there or your bluff, walk all your bluff and go on a call Kote Gamache. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something I highly recommend. Please come to the Bible Society's bookshop, and I guarantee you, you're not only going to get the best Bible, but you can also get a Bible that you will understand. Understanding.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of round 1, here are the scores. EPSU has 2 points. APOSA has 8 points. NUPS-G also has 8 points. And GHAMSU has 12 points. We proceed to round 2, the speed race. In this round, every question goes to all teams, and you all must race to be the first to answer. If you believe you have an answer, you must ring the bell to be called. Let's hear the bells of each team. Loud and clear. A correct answer, if you were the first to ring, is 3 points. A correct answer, if you were the second to ring, is 2 points. A correct answer, if you were the third or fourth to ring, 1 point. Every incorrect answer will attract a -1. By the time you ring the bell, you must be ready with your answer, else the next team to have rung will be given the opportunity to answer. You are not obliged to ring the bell if you are not sure of your answer. Let all your answers be precise and accurate. Best wishes to you all. First question. Mention in the stated order the full list of the 7 dimensions of the Holy Spirit as recorded in Isaiah 11 verses 2. NUPS-G.
Okay, so we have the Spirit of the Lord, we have the Spirit of wisdom, we have the Spirit of knowledge, we have the Spirit of counsel, we have the Spirit of might, we have the spirit of understanding, and we have the spirit of the fear of the Lord.
Incorrect. Second question. Let me give you the list first. So the correct order, in stated order. We have the spirit of the Lord, correct? The spirit of wisdom, the spirit of understanding, the spirit of counsel, the spirit of mind, the spirit of knowledge, and the spirit of the fear of the Lord. The next question. In which chapter in the book of Genesis does the name Pharaoh appear for the first time? In Genesis chapter 12. The next question. According to Acts chapter 3, verses 22 to 24, Moses said that Jesus was a prophet just like him. Identify two main ways Jesus could be likened to Moses in ministry.
Okay, so just as Moses delivered the people of Israel from slavery and bondage in Egypt, Jesus Christ also has delivered those who believe in him from death, that is the spiritual death. Secondly, through God, performed many signs and wonders in his time. In the same way, Jesus in his ministry performed many signs and wonders.
That's correct. The next question. Referencing Colossians chapter 1, verse 22, how exactly does Jesus want to present those he has reconciled before his Father? I take it again. Referencing Colossians chapter 1, verse 22, how exactly does Jesus want to present those he has reconciled before his Father? NUPS-G.
Holy, blameless, and above reproach.
That's correct. The next question. Narrate as accurately as possible the popular Bible story recorded in Proverbs chapter 6, verses 6 to 8. Proverbs chapter 6, verses 6 to 8. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise, which having no captain, overseer, or ruler, provides her suppliers in the summer and gathers her food in the harvest. Next question. According to Esther chapter 2, verse 9, Esther gained favor in the sight of Haggai. Mention 3 benefits Esther enjoyed because of this favor. So, Esther readily received beauty preparations beside her regular allowance. She was provided with 7 choice servants from the king's palace, and she was moved together with her maids to the best part of the house of the women. The next question. Quote the scripture text in Philippians chapter 2, verse 12. Philippians chapter 2, the verse 12. Therefore, my beloved, as you have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. The next question. Mention the list of the 7 things the Lord hates and detests. NUPS-G.
So, a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, feet that are swift to do evil, hearts that plan wicked thoughts, and one that sows discord amongst brothers, and one that spreads false witnesses amongst people. And
That's correct. But mention 7. What else did you want to add? The next question. What is the meaning of the Greek word prokope, spelled P-R-O-K-O-P-E? It means progress, advancement, profit or profiting. The next question. Mention the threefold purpose for which Nehemiah requested for the provision of timber by Asaph. The purpose are to make beams for the gates of the citadel of the temple, to make beams for the city wall, and to make beams for the house he will occupy, or to build the house he will occupy. The next question. What blessing did God promise his people in Malachi chapter 3, the verse 12? EPSU.
He said there will be all the nations, every one of the nations of the world will come to them, and there will be a delightsome land.
Incorrect. Said, all nations will call you blessed, for you will be a delightful land. Said all nations will come to them. And it's the speed race, so we don't accept that. The next question. In interpreting Nebuchadnezzar's first dream, Daniel mentioned 4 things that God had given to Nebuchadnezzar. Recall them. The 4 things are kingdom, power, strength, and glory. The next question. Tell us the significance of the following places in the story of the battle of 4 kings against 5. A, the valley of Siddim, and B, the valley of Shaveh. The valley of Siddim was the battleground of the battle of 4 kings against 5. It was the battleground. The valley of Shaveh. This is where the king of Sodom went to meet Abram after his return from the slaughter of Kedolaomer and the kings that were with him. The next question. Identify which persons made the following statements in the Bible. A. Whatever God has said to you, do it. B. Whatever he says to you, do it. C. Is there still any portion or inheritance for us in our Father's house? The first statement, whatever God has said to you, do it, was by Rachel and Leah. Whatever he says to you, do it, was by Mary. And is there still any portion or inheritance for us in our Father's house? It's also by Rachel and Leah. The next question. According to 1 John chapter 4, verse 21, what is the commandment we have from God? He who loves God must love his brother also. The next question. State the exact location of this verse in the Bible. But the word of the Lord endures forever. Now this is the word which by the gospel was preached to you. First Peter chapter 1 verse 25. That is the location of the verse. The next question. Complete this Bible proverb. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and dash. This proverb is found in Proverbs chapter 7, verse 4. It says, say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your nearest kin. The next question. During the days of Eli, a manslayer who killed someone unintentionally while targeting a prey ran to a city of refuge for several years. Many attempts his family made to get him back home failed. APOSA.
The best time for him to come back is when the high priest died.
That's true. The next question. Which specific place in ancient Egypt is referenced in Psalm 78? The field of Zon, spelled Z-O-A-N. The next question. Mention the full list of miracles recorded in Luke chapter 7. APOSA.
Okay, so the miraculous catch of fish, the healing of the leper, and then the healing of the paralytic that was let down through the roof.
That's incorrect. The list of miracles recorded in Luke chapter 7 are the healing of the centurion's servant and the raising of the son of the widow of Nain. Our last question for this round. Complete the following statement with precision and accuracy. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 20, NKJV says 4 dash. First Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 20, NKJV says, "For you are our glory and joy." And that brings us to the end of round 2.
In the beginning was the Word, and do you have the Word? Ladies and gentlemen, in your Bible kweba, Bible no one side there or your gavim, other side there or your bluff, walk on your bluff and which on a call Ladies and gentlemen, this is something I highly recommend. Please come to the Bible Society's bookshop, and I guarantee you, you're not only going to get the best Bible, but you can also get a Bible that you will understand. Understanding is important. My name is Reverend Azigiza, and I look forward to seeing you. Anyway, this is my Robert Man, and here can you about praise the Lord.
Our mission is to make God's word available, affordable, and encourage its use to transform.
That time of the day when you're
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of round 2, here are the scores. EPSU has 1 point. GHAMSU has 12 points. NUPS-G has 13 points. And APOSA has 13 points. Round 3. True or false? In this round, I'll be making statements to each team, and you are to tell whether the statement is true or false. A correct answer is worth 2 points. An incorrect answer will result in a deduction of 1 point. A team can decide not to answer their question, at which point it may be passed on to the next team who rings their bell first. Same rules on points and deductions apply to a passed-on question. Best wishes to you all. The first set of questions. NUPS-G, your question. By the time Israel battled with Sihon and his people, all the men of war in the first generation which failed to possess Canaan were dead. True or false?
It's a true statement.
That's correct. GHAMSU. By the time Israel battled with Sihon and his people, all the men of war in the first generation which failed to possess Canaan were dead, except for Caleb and Joshua. True or false?
True.
That's correct. EPSU. By the time Israel battled with Og and his people, all the men of war in the first generation which failed to possess Canaan were dead except for Caleb and Joshua. True or false?
True.
That's correct. APOSA. By the time Israel conquered the Midianites, all the men of war in the first generation which failed to possess Canaan were dead, except for Caleb and Joshua. True or false?
True.
That's correct. The next set of questions. NUPS-G. During the early days of Solomon's reign, the tabernacle of Moses was stationed at Gibeon, including all the major furniture within. True or false?
It's a false statement.
It's indeed a false statement. GHAMSU. During the early days of Solomon's reign, the tabernacle of Moses was stationed at Gibeon, but one of the inside furniture was in a different location. True or false?
False.
That's incorrect. EPSU. EPSU. During the early days of Solomon's reign, the tabernacle of Moses was stationed at Gibeon, but one of the inside furniture was at Shiloh. True or false?
True.
That's incorrect. APOSA. During the early days of Solomon's reign, the tabernacle of Moses was stationed at Gibeon, but the Ark of the Covenant was in Jerusalem. True or false?
It's true.
It is indeed. The next set of questions. NUPS-G. The Gospel of John is attributed to one of the sons of Zebedee. True or false?
It's a true statement.
That's correct. GHAMSU. The name Zebedee appears more in the Gospel of Mark than in John's Gospel. True or false?
True.
That's incorrect. EPSU. EPSU. The name Zebedee appears twice in John's Gospel. True or false?
False.
That's correct. APOSA. The name Zebedee appears only once in John's Gospel. True or false?
It's a false statement.
It's a true statement. The next question. NUPS-G. NUPS-G. The full list of the 10 Commandments can be found in some Old Testament books and some New Testament books. True or false?
It's a false statement.
It's indeed a false statement. GHAMSU. GHAMSU. The full list of the 10 Commandments. The full list of the 10 Commandments cannot be found in a single New Testament book. True or false?
False.
Incorrect. EPSU. Nine out of the 10 commandments are expressly repeated in the New Testament. True or false?
True.
That's correct. APOSA. The fourth commandment. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Is the only commandment not expressly repeated in the New Testament. True or false?
True.
That's correct. The next set of questions. Preamble, listen carefully. Indicate whether the following statements are true or false concerning Prophet Amos of the Old Testament. NUPS-G. Amos prophesied during the reign of King Joash. True or false?
It's a false statement.
It's indeed a false statement. GHAMSU. GHAMSU. Amos prophesied during the reign of King Uzziah.
True.
That's correct. EPSU. Amos prophesied during the reign of King Jeroboam II. True or false?
True.
Incorrect. APOSA. The prophecies of Amos can also be found in the book of Acts. True or false?
It's false.
Incorrect. The next set. The next set of questions. question. Oil was not permitted to be part of the meat or grain offering. True or false?
It's a false statement.
It's indeed a false statement. GHAMSU. Honey was not permitted to be part of the meat or grain offering. True or false?
True.
That's correct. EPSU. EPSU. Every meat or grain offering offered was required to be seasoned with salt. True or false?
False.
That's incorrect. APOSA. Leaven was not permitted to be part of the meat or grain offering. True or false?
It's true.
That's correct. The next set of questions. Preamble, listen carefully. Indicate whether the following statements are true or false concerning Colossians chapter 3. NUPS-G. Paul admonished the church in Colossae to set their minds on things above, and that is recorded in verse 3. True or false?
It's a false statement.
That's correct. GHAMSU. Paul admonished the church in Colossae to put to death their members which are on the earth, such as fornication and uncleanness, and that is recorded in verse 6. True or false?
True.
That's incorrect. EPSU. Paul admonished the church in Colossae to put off lies which are characteristic of the old man, and that is recorded in verse 9. True or false?
True.
That's correct. APOSA. Paul admonished the church in Colossae to put on love, which is the bond of perfection, and that is recorded in verse 14. True or false?
It's a true statement.
It's indeed a true statement. The last set of questions for this round. NUPS-G. The Epistle of Jude has references both in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. True or false?
It's a true statement.
It's indeed a true statement. GHAMSU. The Epistle of Jude mentions 10 popular Old Testament entities, 5 of which are people. True or false?
True.
Incorrect. EPSU. EPSU. The Epistle of Jude mentions 10 popular Old Testament entities, 7 of which are places. True or false?
False.
That's correct. APOSA. The Epistle of Jude mentions a total of 7 Old Testament entities, 3 of which are places. True or false?
It's true.
No, it's false. And that brings us to the end of round 3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of round 3, here are the scores. EPSU has 8 points. GHAMSU has 13 points. APOSA has 20 points. And NUPS-G has 26 points. We proceed to the 4th round. Riddles. In this round, there are 4 riddles. A set of clues will be read out to all teams on each riddle, and you have to draw my attention on your readiness to answer by ringing your bell. Let's hear the bell of each team. GHAMSU, EPSU, APOSA, all right. The first to answer rightly wins the points for that riddle. A riddle solved on the first clue is worth 5 points, and on the second clue, 4 points. A riddle solved on the third or any other number of clues will be worth 3 points. If a team wrongly answers a riddle, you will be out of that particular riddle until the next. Best wishes to you all. First riddle. I am a phrase of 3 words that refers to a passage in the Old Testament. At my first mention, I am given as a divine command from God to Moses. I am a 3-fold divine invocation. In my original Hebrew form, I contain exactly 15 words of 3 different lines in this order. 3 words, 5 words, 7 words. Although I am the name given to the passage, I am not explicitly mentioned in the text of the Bible. In modern-day Christianity, I am widely referred to as the benediction. Who am I? GHAMSU.
The desert of sin.
Incorrect. APOSA.
Blessings and curses.
Incorrect. Audience. The correct answer is the priestly blessing. Second riddle. I am a stop in the Exodus journey. I am a valley east of the Jordan River and north of the Jabbok, between Penuel and Shechem. I am a Hebrew word which means booth or temporary shelter. I am the central focus of the events recorded in Judges chapter 8. I am the name Jacob gave to the location of his first stop after his reconciliation with Esau, recorded in Genesis 33. NUPS-G.
Sukkot.
That's correct. I read out all the clues, 3 points. The third riddle. I am a city mentioned 4 times in the Bible. I am identified as the archaeological site of Tel El-Mukayya, near Nasiriyah in modern-day southern Iraq. At my first mention, I am associated with tragedy. I am established as the starting point of Abraham's divine calling in Genesis chapter 15. GHAMSU.
Er.
Let me hear NUPS-G.
Mesopotamia.
GHAMSU has it. I was on the fourth clue, 3 points. The fourth and final riddle. I am an English word mentioned about 40 times in the Old Testament. I am the English translation for the Hebrew word eglah. I was first mentioned among the list of animals Abraham presented to the Lord on the day the Lord made the covenant with him in Genesis chapter 15. I am often associated with sacrificial contexts. I appear...
Ram.
No, I continue. I appear in both everyday offerings and unique ceremonial laws. I am used to refer to a young female cow, EPSU.
It's lamb.
GHAMSU. That's correct. And that brings us to the end of round 4. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the contest, here are the scores. EPSU has 8 points. GHAMSU has 19 points. APOSA has 20 points. And winning this contest is NUPS-G with 29 points. Well done. Well done, everyone. NUPS-G has automatically qualified for the national championship and also the grand finale of the UHAS championship. The other teams may still qualify for the nationals, depending on their score after all championships are done. So you can still keep hoping and praying. Hello, viewers. Thank you for staying with us in this contest. We believe you learned a lot about the Bible and also had some fun. This program was brought to you by the NBQ Ghana, the Bible Society of Ghana, and the UHAS Chaplaincy. It was proudly sponsored by Sweet Music Pro Audio, Ghana's leading musical instrument store, and Sweet Melodies FM. Join us again next time when we bring you the grand finale of the UHAS Championship. My name is Precious Jifakra, and I was your quiz mistress. Until then, bye.